This is the story of these mongoose pups. Out of the den for the first week in the big and dangerous world of Africa. Their only protection, the pack. 37 strong.
They're dealing with warthogs, cracking open eggs.
I'll try to find a few more.
Only together can they keep their pups from the maws of predators.
The monitor is back.
Can these pups make it?
Be an insider in the creature world. That's the mission. The Kratts brothers, dropped in remote regions to live with the creatures. Through their eyes, on their turf, by their rules. Be the creature.
Back once more to the world's second largest continent, Africa, where the struggle for survival is always on display. This time, we're here in East Africa, in the country of Uganda, to see the world of the banded mongoose.
No taller than the grasses, these are little guys in a big world. Africa's ultimate underdogs. They have to try to stand up to a world dominated by lions, leopards, wild dogs, marabou are constantly hunting them. And always lurking monitor lizards with the ambush attack.
This is what the mongoose have to face, and they can only face it together. Now is the most vulnerable and dangerous time, when the entire pack has to be at the top of their game.
Hidden somewhere in the wilds of Queen Elizabeth National Park, there was a pack of pups due to emerge any day now. We just had to find them.
Here you go, Chris.
Nice. Got a signal?
Yeah. The mongoose in this area are part of a research project, an ongoing project, and there is one radio-collared individual in the group. So this is how we're gonna find them. Crank it up.
We knew the pack would already be out foraging, so we followed the signal, heading east.
Yeah, it's getting loud. This way.
When you spot for it, you gotta look for their heads poking out of the grass and telescoping around. Hey, look. I see him poking out of the grass.
That was so easy.
Right over here.
Oh, yeah. Doing the attention. The banded mongoose. Slender, 4-pound body, sharp eyes, keen nose, and long, sharp claws.
Where did he go?
The group. The whole group.
The whole pack this way.
You'll rarely find the mongoose alone. These pint-sized predators depend on each other for survival.
37 mongoose.
They're quick, they're efficient, exploring every food possibility as they move through their territory.
So what are they looking for? Dung, for one thing.
Hippo dung, elephant dung, or any good places to find insects. Imagine making a living, walking around, finding dung, and sticking your nose in it, looking for food. That's what these guys do. They're low to the ground.
Let's find him. Hey, he's got something. And this is what that little guy's eating, a dung beetle. Here, I found one. These insects love the cool, nutrition-filled conditions under the dung. So the mongoose sniff, locate, and dig them up.
An ant nest with eggs. Oh yeah, you're looking some of those up.
This guy has a millipede. A lot of times they roll their food, sometimes for up to 15 minutes before they eat it, because millipedes produce poisonous secretions.
I love when they really get cruising.
Banded mongoose form the largest packs of any mongoose species, up to 58 individuals.
I love this chatter. I know. Constantly making the contact calls.
Hey, what are you doing? Hey, what time am I shooting? They check out everything.
They picked up the scent of another pack.
This area is a scent post.
They're scent marking over all the scent posts that the other pack made. When they're alarmed, they come together and move as one because together they are strong.
Wow, this is different. We are on the move here.
They're at another scent post. Now they're moving to the next one.
Here they come.
Whoa.
It's a seething mass of mongoose bodies.
Listen to them. Listen.
That's the war cry.
Oh, they found somebody. Attack. They're attacking.
This side, this side.
They found the other pack that belongs to this territory.
There's a fight going on inside the bushes.
This is a mongoose-style invasion. In the other group, there they go. The other group's taken off. This group has gone into another group's territory, found them, and sent them running. They all took off that way.
One final scent mark that says, don't come back.
These mongooses are small but energy-packed creatures of the savannah.
Now they're off again. Hey, they're on a mission, too.
Where are they running to now?
They're heading right up to this bush over here, and they're really excited. But it's a different excitement call than when they were attacking the neighbors. It's more of a bloop, 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 bloop.
Hear that high-pitched squeaking sound? That's a pup sound.
There's a den in the bushes. Where is there something moving? Something's coming.
Pups. The pups are here. They're looking great.
Look at this pipsqueak. Only the size of a gerbil.
Banded mongoose have pups 3 or 4 times a year, usually during the rainy season.
They are cute.
These little squirts are about 3 weeks old. They've got their full sight. They're pretty coordinated. That trill, they have a bird-like trill.
That's their contact call.
Our first day out here, and we've met the next generation of this band's future. Talk about a fresh start for a creature adventure. We're gonna learn about the banded mongoose, just like these new pups are. Gonna explore this new world, learn the tricks, learn the strategies of the banded mongoose. And now they're all back. It's about 11:30, and banded mongoose usually crash out for a few hours during midday, so we have some time.
That means we can check out the area real quick.
And catch up with our pack later.
This world that the pups have just entered into is, to them, a huge place, populated by massive animals. A warthog. That big guy is coming this way.
Hey, he's getting pretty close. You are beautiful. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
You can't miss the beauty and uniqueness of the warthog face, and the skull really reveals some amazing things. The way those upper and lower tusks fit together so neatly and slide right into a hollow in the lip, perfectly fitting in. The two tusks are very different. The lower one, sharp, razor sharp, and used to slash at predators.
See those lower incisors working? Those are the cutters.
And the upper tusks are duller. Nothing, just rounded edge. Those are used for digging. And using the head like a shovel, the warthog digs, tossing up the dirt and clearing out a burrow. Whoa! And using that broad head like a hammer, they pounded each other, absorbing the blows with those warty growths.
It's a powerful, powerful pig. Imagine what a warthog would look like through the eyes of a mongoose pup.
And these long, scaly legs, what would they look like? The bald head with a few hairy feathers, and that massive, deadly beak of the marabou stork.
Whoa, and there are hordes of storks waiting for the pups, soaring overhead, ready to drop down on them at any opportunity.
And down here, monitor lizards on the prowl. Most dangerous when you can't see them. A deadly ambush hunter.
Hey, we've been away from those mongoose for over 2 hours.
Oh, you're right. We better get back to the den.
And fast. Pretty quiet.
Yeah, it is. They couldn't have left already.
The den site was unusually quiet. We checked the perimeter and decided we needed to have a look inside.
Snake camel hill for sure.
Let's get it.
We knew we had to hurry. If the pack was actually gone, this would be the first day out for the pups, when they would be the most unsteady, weak, and unaware, and therefore the most vulnerable to predation.
This is like a snake going down the hole, and the mongoose have to react to this. Nothing.
Jeez. We gotta find them.
We can leave this stuff here, get it later.
The pack must have decided to move den sites.
I don't see them.
Our 11 pups were out there with the monitor lizards and the marabou storks.
We had to get to them before any disappeared.
It's them.
Plus the pups. Mongoose pups. I can't believe the pack took them out here. They're so small.
It's weird to see them out here. They look so helpless and vulnerable, yet here they are moving across Africa, exposed.
How can these pint-sized pups survive out here?
Just 3 weeks old, but surprisingly,
They are pretty mobile. Good job, buddy. You're doing great. Keeping up with the gang. Let's go. They're nervous. They're making calls constantly, telling the adults where they are and not to leave them behind. This is a huge deal for these little pups. They're out in the world for the very first time, picking up something new with every footstep. Okay, here comes a pup. Gonna try his hand or his paw at foraging. He's begging right now from this adult. These pups are ready to learn.
but if you're a mongoose pup, how do you learn the tricks of the mongoose trade? The answer, a mentor. See this guy?
Now this little pup is hanging out with this adult. In these early weeks of life, these pups glom onto an adult, usually a male, and the male, the mentor, helps them pick up new skills and helps them in their first weeks of life.
It's really important that each pup attach itself to a good mentor because the mentors provide protection from danger and teach the pups how to find food. Hey, Chris, look at this guy. He's got a huge beetle.
Oh, yeah. It looks like he doesn't want to share. He's looking for a place to eat it in peace.
Okay, he found a spot to eat it.
Oh, that is a juicy beetle. It's huge.
He wants it all for himself. Banded mongoose don't really like to share their food with adults or pups.
But once a mentor-mentee relationship has developed, the adult will sometimes share with the pup he's protecting. Otherwise, mongoose hate to share.
Harsh. He's not even letting the pups get close.
Hey, it's Pipsqueak. He's letting her in. But what about this one? No way.
He's letting one of the pups share his food. Maybe they've already established a mentor-mentee relationship. And he leaves the rest to the pup. What a find for both an adult and a mongoose pup.
All right, we're heading out now eastbound toward these warthogs.
Pack's a little nervous.
The warthogs are heading towards the mongoose pack. Warthogs are a type of pig, and pigs will eat just about anything. I hope they don't get too close to those pups.
But with warthogs, this could get ugly.
Wait, what is going on? He's lying down? The pups are watching as wide-eyed as we are.
What's happening? They're climbing up. They're up on the warthog, picking in his ear. These mongoose are grooming the warthog. Unbelievable.
Abandoned mongoose, they've learned that there are blood-filled ticks and other parasites on these warthogs.
This is an extraordinary behavior. Usually, these two species don't interact.
Two mammals in a mutual relationship with the mongoose benefiting by getting a free meal off the back of a warthog, and the warthog benefiting by getting parasite-free.
Over there, too.
The warthogs are loving it. Ow.
Oh, there's a pup in there. There's a pup in there learning the ropes. Learning for the first time that these warthogs, these huge, not so pretty looking creatures, are actually their friends. That's gotta tickle. Maybe even hurt every now and then. Ooh, he reacts. The mongoose clear out. Better keep up with the pack.
This friendly relationship is a rarity because the mongoose are on the menu of many animals, like a monitor lizard.
The pack has spotted this monitor lizard and are slowly bringing the pups around. That's a defensive move with his tail. He's trying to whip me in the face to get me to back up. Listen to him. You can hear him hissing.
Right now, he's not a threat because the pack sees him, but his strategy is to lie hidden.
Unseen, and then attack in ambush. Whew. These lizards will grab and eat a pup any chance they get. I'm gonna head around with the pack.
And the monitor lizard will withdraw and wait for another day, for a better opportunity when he has the advantage of surprise.
Oh, wait a second, wait. Where's everybody? Where are you going? Chris, they're headed to town.
They're bringing their pups into town? There are trucks. People with machetes, this is crazy.
We followed the pack as they led us along the outskirts of this Ugandan village. A great spot for easy food, but the only problem was marabou storks know it too. Another major predator of mongoose pups.
And where there's one marabou, there are many. Marabou overhead.
It's a dangerous place for the mongoose to be, but they're here for the same reasons. Food. The storks have the food, they have the water, and there are so many around here. And they're always eyeing the mongoose, looking for an opportunity to strike.
They've moved into this clearing where there are 3 or 4 marabou storks scattered around. This is a dangerous enemy, so they're moving through here carefully.
Okay, it looks like they're trying to cross.
How are they gonna keep 11 pups together? Wait, Pipsqueak. Pipsqueak's getting out ahead. She's heading to the marabou. And the pack, they're going back. What about Pipsqueak? Great, yes, someone grabbed her up. Her mom and mentor, I can't tell.
They don't want the pups anywhere nearby. So they've stashed the pups where they're safe with a few adults, and the rest of the pack is moving through, systematically clearing out all the marabous. They're all huddled around the faucet, standing up on their hind legs, telling that stork to get out of here. Oh, and there he goes.
They're pushing them back.
All right. They made it through that. That was pretty hair-raising. Good job, gang. Okay, we're returning. They were lost calling. We're trying to locate the pups and babysitters that we stashed here. So here's the reunion. The pups are coming out. We've got Pipsqueak with us and all 10 of her sisters, brothers, and cousins. They all survived that encounter. Okay, we're going to rejoin the pack. Hey, Chris, here they come.
All right.
Two came back, picked up the rest, and now they're going to rejoin.
They're reconnecting, lying down as they greet each other and make sure they're all part of the same pack.
And it doesn't take long to start moving off again. And this time, since it's around 5 o'clock, we're searching for a new den site.
All right, this is where we're staying tonight.
Here it is. Some old abandoned boats. A perfect place. They've left the old den, and now we've got a new spot to sleep for the night. Mongoose pick a new den site every few nights.
This was a big day for these pups. Now it ends at a new den site. Here are the pups. 11 started the day, tentatively emerging from their den. 11 ended the day after a long trek over 1 kilometer, which is a lot for these teeny pipsqueaks. And they all made it. They got a little help along the way, but mostly they did it all on their own power. But the question is, can they make it tomorrow? Good morning. They got the yawns and everything, first thing. Hey, you're making me yawn. It is early. 7:01, we're moving out. Once they start moving, it's like a flood until all 37, plus whatever pups have made it through the night, are out on the move. I don't see any pups yet. No pups. Did any of them make it? Here we go. Here's a little guy. Check it out. They're inside here playing with some babysitters. So the pups aren't going out this morning. The pups are safely inside with some babysitters. The pack is already out of sight, and so is Chris. So we'll leave them here. Not sure yet how many survived the night, but I better catch up with Chris and the rest of them.
All right. This is completely different. They start the day slowly in the morning, all grouped together, huddled together, and they started out with a grooming session. Each mongoose grooming one another, some grooming themselves. They're normally hyper, running around, foraging, but right now they're mellow. Still a few yawns. Spending this time together keeps the group cohesive and strong. Okay, that's it. The ball has broken up. The mongoose are heading off. Attitude totally changed once again. Now they're into active mode, and they're heading off to forage.
Into the village. Oh boy, now they're going into the heart of the village. Tight formation, moving quickly. No pups now to slow them down. They are on a mission. These mongoose wander wherever they want to, right through people's backyards. This village is part of the pack's habitat. To them, there's nothing unnatural about it. These mongoose go right inside the store. Do they ever buy anything?
Oh, got something. He got something. What did he get? Looks like some fish.
Yeah, nice
It's a piece of fish.
That rooster is not happy about these mongoose just wandering right into his backyard. It's funny how they do it. They come in, make themselves at home. They sleep on somebody's mat there, crawling in and out of it, making themselves completely comfortable. And I think it's all about the people's attitude who live here. They accept the mongoose, and they even accept me tagging along with the mongoose and paying a visit. They're very friendly.
There are no pups with the pack right now, but the marabou storks are closing in, especially this one. He is looking for some kind of opportunity, looking to see if he can find a young one in the pack. He's interested, you can tell.
Whoa, did you see that? He made a go at one of them. This guy wants one of these mongoose if he can get it. It's tough because they're just a little too big. Ooh, another go at one running by him. Defending the pack. And they've safely passed this marabou store.
They can clearly take care of themselves, but for how long can they protect 11 helpless pups? It's getting close to midday, around 11 o'clock. And start taking their first nap of the day.
What are you doing?
These pups and the 4 adults with them are balling up just like the rest of the pack. The pups are learning this balling up wake-up technique. That's the typical mongoose style way to start the day. Hey, you guys, check it out. 2 warthogs are coming. Look, warthog right behind me. They're balling up. They're not sure what to make of this warthog.
He wants grooming. Yeah. But the mongoose aren't into it.
Soon, when you get a little bigger, you'll be friends with these warthogs. You'll be climbing on their backs, picking ticks off them.
Just like your mom, dad, aunts, uncles, and your older cousins. You'll be really special because soon you'll be one of the very few mongoose in the world who groom warthogs.
Okay, I'm up. I'm up.
After about an hour, my rest ball broke up.
I'm up. I just tied those.
Now we're heading off on a mission. I see our target, the woodpile. The front part of the pack is already swarming through, trying to flush out some food. Insects, mice, whatever's hiding in there is fair game.
Oh, there's a mouse. They flushed out a mouse. Heading straight for that mongoose. Oh, got him.
That mouse didn't have a chance. But now he has a problem. Everybody wants a piece.
Okay, he's found a spot to eat his mouse without any other mongoose around, so he doesn't have to share. Oh, but wait a second. This adult might be that pup's mentor. He did share. That little pup has a piece. What a meal for a little pup. That's gonna help him grow big and strong. He's trying to get it away from the other pups so he can eat it.
The mentor relationships are forming, and just in time, because monitor lizards are prowling the woodpile too.
Okay, there's the contact call. Looks like we're out of here. It's a good thing too, because with that monitor lizard hunting here, this has become a dangerous place.
How many are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, 9. Okay, 9. So we're not all with the main pack.
Wait a second, we're missing 2 of the pups. They must have been left back at the woodpile. This guy hears something. He's heading back. The male is heading back to the woodpile. It's amazing. I can hear the pups crying now. The male's gone in. He's gone after the lost pups. It's like a maze in there. They got interested in that piece of mouse meat and they got left behind. But he came back and now he's looking for them. There he is. There he is. 1 pup behind him. 2. He got 2. Whew, that was close. They were left far behind, about 50 yards. That is a long distance for these little pipsqueaks. So they need a good mentor to notice, to hear that some of the pups are missing, are left behind, and go back to get them. And he's bringing them back to the pack.
You guys coming?
All right, the end of the day, and we're back at the den.
Chris, how many pups came in?
That makes the last one, so
10. I only saw 10.
10. What happened? I was with the last one. There were no other pups at the woodpile. Somewhere, we lost a pup. Did a monitor grab him?
Or maybe he got trampled by a warthog. Or, hey, hippo! Right over here, he's massive.
Behind me is a close relative of our buddy, the warthog, and they are huge. And more people die of hippo attacks than lion attacks in Africa.
A hippo to us is as huge as a marabou stork is to the pups.
So just a few days into their first week of life on the outside, the most dangerous time for the pups, we'd already lost one. And we feared it would only get worse because the predators were learning of the pups' existence.
The next attack could come from anywhere, at any time, from anybody. So we decided to stay with the mongoose through the night. A lot of noise going on in the upper level. Let's shift the camera.
Oh, there they are.
Yeah, look at them. Ooh, they're attacking each other. Ah!
They don't always get along.
No.
Ow, ow.
Mongoose can be aggressive to one another.
Oh, they're taking up 2 on 1 there.
Whoa. He's got his tail.
One other thing we quickly learned. Mongoose don't pick very comfortable places to sleep. Or very safe ones either.
At the beginning of day 3, 10 pups are still with.
And the pups were more active than ever, climbing on moms and mentors. The pups were in full play mode. And the adults were getting in on the action too. I guess the pack that plays together stays together.
Whoa, they're darting around in this tall grass, freezing, then leaping up as another guy approaches. They're playing a game of chase.
Hey, what have you got there? Oh, it's a weaver nest.
Oh, weavers!
The mongoose took us right to this amazing colony of black-headed weavers. These weavers are colony nesters with so many nests hanging from the tips of branches with entrances in the bottom, which makes it much more difficult for predators to get into the entrance and get to those eggs. The mongoose would love to get up there.
Mongoose love bird eggs, all kinds of bird eggs.
Like the glossy starling, the fire-crowned bishop, and look at that long tail on the pin-tailed wida.
And the mongoose will nab any of these bird eggs they can possibly get.
But first, if they find an egg, they have to break it open.
Watch how. Look.
These guys have a special technique, and if the pups watch carefully, they'll pick up a new skill.
Whoa! Did you see that? Smash right against the rock.
Now he can lick it up. What a technique. Oh, there's a fight going on.
See, they hate to share. Everybody's trying to get in there for a piece of that egg. Hey, buddy. You want an egg? You like eggs? You guys all want eggs, huh? I'll try to find a few more. Be right back. Show them how it's done. Okay, this one's got control over the egg. It's backing up against the rock. He picks it up in his front paws and hike! Smash right against the rock. All right, your turn. Show him how it's done. Backs up against the rock. Front paws. Hut, 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 hut. Hike! Oh, right in the face. That was a great smash. That egg went flying everywhere. Good job.
Pipsqueak could crack eggs instinctively, but I had to watch and learn.
I gotta try this. All right, guys, I'm gonna give it a shot. You gotta tell me if I'm doing it right, all right? So you start out with the egg. You position it. Whoops, hang on, let me try. try. You position it back, you grab it between your paws, right? Lift up and hunch against the rock. You want it? Here, you can have that one. How'd I do? I'll take that as a good.
Okay, and we're off again into a new part of the territory.
That pup is so much smaller than the rest. Weaker, too. He walks along while the others run. The others are wrestling and playing, and he's just trying to keep up. For now, there's one mentor, one escort, who keeps responding to his cries.
Pups compete for mentors. The strongest get the best mentors, and this little guy might not have the protection he needs.
Ooh, you're gonna cross this plain? Better scout this out. Nice bush buck. You don't have to worry about a bush buck. But this is a little dicey. This is a pretty wide open area we're on the edge of. Really vulnerable to attack from above. Wait, but they're ganging up here. Okay, now in this open area, everybody is coming together.
Bunching up to appear as a single, more formidable creature.
The alarm call like this. Even a bush buck, a young bush buck makes them nervous.
They know they're vulnerable here. Okay, coast is clear, and we're gonna make the crossing now. The mongoose perspective walking through the grass is like us walking through a cornfield. You can only see stalks of vegetation in front of you. That ability to stand straight up on their hind legs is a perfect adaptation to that low-profile body.
Marabou just flew by. Marabou, and look, everybody's up.
Mongoose have excellent eyesight, and they spotted that stork right away.
And there's Pipsqueak doing great riding on her mentor's back. Whoa!
Oh, but where's the sick pup? We're getting to the other side. We made it.
That's a good 200-300 feet.
You can almost feel them starting to relax and spread out a little bit.
Good work, Pack. You brought the pups safely across a risky area.
And good work, pups. You did what you had to do. Stay underneath the legs of the adults and get safely across.
As they make the entrance into the bushes, they don't know what's in there. It's another danger zone. That's where the monitors like to lurk, right on the edge here. Through the bushes.
There could be a monitor lizard in there, but they don't seem that nervous.
No one senses danger, and the females are comfortable enough to nurse.
One of the amazing things about mongoose is that any one of the pups can nurse from any one of the mothers. It doesn't matter who your actual mother is. It's communal nursing.
The moms nurse and wean the pups together. In fact, all pregnant females usually give birth at the same time, so nobody knows whose pup is whose. Therefore, the moms join forces and raise all the pups together. Okay, and that's it for the afternoon nap.
With defenses now more relaxed, we headed into the bush. But nobody had any idea that a monitor lizard was in there, lying patiently in wait.
We foraged as we headed further towards the wooded savanna. I was just noticing how one of the pups stayed a little too far behind the pack when I spotted something in the bushes.
The monitor, he's back.
It looks like the monitor is setting up for an ambush. This is not good.
Puppy's heading straight for the monitor. But the adults are there. The adults are right there.
They're gonna stop him, aren't they?
The puppy's walking right towards the monitor lizard. It's the little guy. It's the weak one. Oh my God. Oh, he's got him. The pack, they're fighting off that monitor like crazy. Did you see that? A miraculous defense of the pup. They got it away from this monitor lizard. This monitor lizard had the pup in his jaws. It looked like it was hopeless for that pup, but the whole pack comes to the rescue.
Biting, attacking from all sides. They caused him to drop the pup. They keep after him with a fury. Biting, hitting from all sides, but the monitor fights back. A bite here, a slap there. He's fighting back, but he's outnumbered, overwhelmed, and beaten up. And the mongoose are back with the pup. The pup is being picked up and taken back into the bushes.
I hope that little pup made it.
Chris, what happened?
A monitor attacked, grabbed a pup. The pack came flying out of the bushes, defended, and the monitor dropped the pup.
Wait, is it okay, the pup?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if he's alive or dead. They took him into the bush.
I'm gonna go check.
I'm gonna get rid of this monitor.
Okay.
Look at that tail.
He whipped the mongoose too, but he couldn't handle a fighting pack of mongoose.
All right. Who's here? Who's here? How many pups? One.
We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 4 are looking great. Where are the rest? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Only 9. Wait, is that? No.
Another adult? Where's the last pup? Where's number 10? That's it, only 9. Everybody's here, there's only 9 pups.
Yeah.
He didn't make it. He didn't identify his protector in time. And he was left alone and vulnerable for just a moment. So I guess that's why 50% don't make it to... They're still a little on edge.
Everybody's up.
Everybody's up. That monitor put everybody on edge. Yeah, come on in, everybody. Gather in. When we're a ball, when we're together, that's when we're strong, right? That's the banded mongoose way. Together, we're strong. All right, day 5. 2 of the pups lost, 9 left.
Two days after the monitor lizard attack, our pack of banded mongoose returned to the area.
What do you see? He's really sniffing something over there.
What is that?
It's the pup. It's a pup, and that must be the pup that was attacked by the monitor lizard, because we're right near the bush. 2 days later, the partially decayed body. Chris, over here.
Yeah.
The pup.
Oh,
That must be the pup.
So he didn't make it for sure. Pack seems really uncomfortable.
Chris and I realized that the pups needed to connect with a good mentor to increase their chances of survival.
The pack lost 2 pups in the first week, but life goes on for these mongoose, and they got back to crawling all over their territory, and of course, all over their bigger friends.
Look at them.
All over this warthog. This happens every day now. I love it. Oh, look. He's looking for ticks on me now.
Hey, get your nose out of my butt.
Is that a pup? Whoa! I can feel the difference. Hi, little pup.
Pups might be ready to groom Martin, but they're not sure about the warthog yet.
What are you doing? You're peeing on me.
Oh, nasty. Nasty. She was scent marking me just like they scent mark each other. Oh, now I'm really one of them.
Well, we've made it through the first week of emergence with the pups.
Meeting friends and fighting foes.
Getting lost and found by a mentor. Learning about the good things in life. And the harsh reality of death.
Life for these creatures is fast-paced and action-packed.
And the pack did a great job of guiding the pups through their first week out here.
But now it's time to take our voices out of the mix of the chattering pack and bring their number back down to the original 37, plus the remaining 9 pups, who, by the way, are just starting to show their bands.
These pups have a lot more trials, tribulations, and discoveries ahead of them. Good luck, pack.